Hello there and welcome to Sport Africa, where we showcase proudly Africa's biggest names, biggest games every week. I'm Janine Anthony. Coming up. Still have doubts that sports and politics intersect? Meet another sportsman turned politician, Ivory Coast Bonaventura Kalu.
I think politics is more difficult than football.
In football, there are cult heroes, icons and legends. And Nigeria's domestic football queen, Regina Akaronye, is definitely one of the latter.
They call me Kekere. I am chief coach of Rivers Angels, one of the biggest female football teams in Nigeria, even in Africa.
We meet 3 Egyptians who rock their world through heavy metal, throwing that is. Scared of snakes, nicknamed after a sporting icon and reveling in falling on his face, we get to know more about Kenyan rugby star Willie Ambaka. It's the battle of returnees this week on Armchair Expert. Which former contestant will claim the throne? It's another week and we're so excited for you joining us here on BBC Sports Africa, straight from the Southwark here in Lagos, Nigeria. It's a packed show of record throwers and One Club legends, but we kick-start things with the often combustible mix of sports and politics. Now, former Ivory Coast international footballer Bonaventura Kalu has become one of the latest West African sportsmen to have made the transfer from sports to politics. Now, he's following the footsteps of the likes of Liberia's George Weah and the former Liverpool player who was one time the Minister of Sports in Guinea, Titi Camara. Now, BBC Sports Africa Kimia Shokohi went all the way to his town of Avoa, where he's been mayor for the last 6 months.
In the world of sport, politics often play an inseparable role. But in the case of Bonaventure Kalu, the connection goes a step further. The former Ivorian international has fought for the likes of Paris Saint-Germain, Feyenoord, among others. But it's his latest post that may prove to be his most ambitious yet, that of mayor to the town of Avoa.
You've officially made the transition from sport to politics less than 6 months in. Is it what you've expected?
I think politics is more difficult than football because the expectation is more higher. In sport, it's only about bringing joy to people's life. But in politics, you have to change their life. It's more serious, let's put it that way.
Your announcement to run as mayor came as perhaps a bit of a surprise to some people. Why now and why Vavua?
Why now? Because I thought that was the right moment for me to run. And why Vavua? Because it's my hometown. Even if I wasn't born there, it's the city where my dad and my mom were born, so it was a normal choice for me.
Was there a defining moment that the light bulb clicked on for you and you said, it's the right time for me, I want to go into politics?
Yes, there was a defining moment. Sadly, that came with the dismissal of my late father. That was shocking to see the state of the city, because I went there 10 years ago, and with the war and everything that's happened to Ivory Coast, the state of the city was worse than what I was expecting. And yes, I decided right after that moment to try my luck.
How did a career in football and sport prepare you for one in politics?
You never prepare to run in politics. I think it's a decision which comes from the heart. You have to be ready because in football, you have people to do everything for you. But in politics, you have to do everything for people. That's the difference.
What are your aspirations for not only this post in Vavua, but perhaps for your future political career?
I want to, if tomorrow I'm not, or in 5 years I'm not anymore the mayor of Vavua, I want to leave a legacy, like schools, like infrastructure, because that's the best way to be remembered. And my aspiration for my future in politics, I take things day by day. I don't do any projection. I want to succeed first as a mayor, and then I will see what's happening next.
Hello and welcome to the Africa Today podcast. Liberia has a new president. The former football superstar George Weah scored
I take always the example of George of Weah. He was the one who opened the gate for me, because in Ivory Coast, in everywhere in Africa, former sportsmen, former soccer players are not taken in serious. But with this example of that George Weah said, like in Liberia, to be president, it shows that we can all be what we want to be.
Brilliant. Time now for our sports quiz armchair expert, where we put your sporting knowledge to the test, and we put the back in comebacks, and we have two former contestants who have come back to have a feel of our glossy throne in Nairobi. We hand you over to our referee, Celestine Karone.
Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Armchair Expert. Time to meet those playing for the throne this week.
Hi, my name's Webster Mwangi. I'm glad to be back again on this show, and this time I want to emerge victorious.
Hi guys, my name is Agri Sai, and I'm here to win as I did it the first time.
Can Webster win on his second attempt, or will Agri make it 2 wins in a row? Well, time to find out. It's the first round, and here are the rules.
Round 1. It's simple. 30 seconds each to answer as many questions as possible on what's going on in the sporting week.
Webster, you are the first player, and your 30 seconds starts now. Which former Arsenal player was dismissed as a Monaco coach in January?
Thierry Henry.
Correct. Super Bowl is an American football game between the two conference champions. True or false?
True.
Correct. Who won the 2018 CAF Africa Player of the Year?
Mohamed Salah.
Correct. Which African player did Barcelona sign during the winter transfer window?
Kevin Prince Boateng.
Correct. Kenya has qualified for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. When was their last appearance? 2002 or 2004?
2004.
Correct. Kenya's Janet Wanja plays which sport?
Volleyball.
Correct. I had to finish that question, and you got all your answers right. Well done. Well, Agri.
Yes.
Your 30 seconds starts now. The Six Nations Championship is a competition in which sport? Football
Rugby.
or rugby? Correct. Super Bowl contest determines the champion of the National Football League, NFL. True or false?
True.
Correct. Who was the EPL top scorer at the end of January?
But Aubameyang?
Wrong. Mohamed Salah. How many teams compete in the World Rugby 7 Series per season? 24 or 26?
24?
Correct. Kenya's Zarika Fatuma competes in which sport?
Boxing?
Correct. What is the nationality of Barcelona's new signing Kevin Prince Boateng?
Ghana?
Yes, correct. And this is so interesting. It's Webster who is taking the early lead, 6 points, and Agri, you have 5 points. Remember, there's still a lot more to play for. Round 2 and 3 coming up later in the show.
Some time back, we took a look at why Egypt is Africa's giant when it comes to the game of squash, but the North African country isn't done dominating it. As they boast of the very best of hammer throwers in Africa, if results are anything to go by. Now, last year at the African Athletics Championship, Egyptian men filled the podium, and they believe that by working tirelessly to encourage parents, will they unearth the next generation of sporting champions.
My life hammer throw. It's my life. Because I'm training in the morning and afternoon and maybe at night.
Egypt is good in hammer throw because we have a really big history in throwing, in all throwing. We had a world champion, youth and junior and senior, you know. So from long time we are good in throwing.
We have many amateur throwers here, and all of us are characterized by strength.
Yes, already we have a big team in Egypt, young athletes, boy and girl, and we teach them, and we try to make a lot of champions. So we help a lot of kids to become like us.
My record 81 meter, but I hope to throw this day over 81 meter. But just to next year I have Olympics. This is my target to make a gold medal.
I remember my wife and my daughter, and I try to do something for my little daughter. So something come from the God, and I got a bronze medal. Yeah. So I was happy, sure. Mustafa, he was already African champion, and he has a lot of medal, and you know. But for Islam, I was really happy for him because he's really my friend. He's my assist. So I was happy really for him, you know.
It's the first time I've experienced this. This is the first championship I've taken part in nearly 10 years, and it's good to come second. I'm definitely happy and joyful.
For me, it's no competition for us. We just enjoy to compete with us, and we support us, and that's good, you know, good feeling. My advice was to the father and the family. You know, everybody is talented. So, but the father and the family and mother and all the family has to search about how your kid is talented.
Very nice. We'll take a breather now, but don't go anywhere because we have a tale of a one club legend right here on Sport Africa from the BBC. Welcome back to BBC Sport Africa. Now, women's football in Africa is on the rise, and while the players who move outside the continent grab all the headlines, some who are left behind also build inspiring legacies as well. Regina Okaranye became the first woman in the history of Nigerian Women's League football to have won dozens of league titles and FA Cup trophies in the same club where she began her career as a footballer and now a coach over 25 years ago.
My family is not every one of them that supported me in it. My brother gave a sanction order that if he see me play this football again, he will kill me. So one day I sneak out when everybody has gone out. So as I was playing, I was conscious of when will he come. Already I've told them they know what happened. So they will only help me and say, Regina, your brother is coming home. I don't joke when it comes for anything called this football. Snappy, snappy. My name is Regina Okaranye. They call me Kekere. I am chief coach of Rivers Angels, one of the biggest female football teams in Nigeria, even in Africa. First to the ball, do what?
Win the ball.
At the moment you lose possession, what do?
You fall back.
I think Regina Okaranye is truly the backbone of Rivers Angels. We call her business time. She doesn't joke with anybody when it comes to the business of soccer.
I am proud to say I am one of the female coaches to hold both the league and FA Cup title as a player and as a coach. I got an information that they are training female players. So I told my mom, my late mom gave me transport to go to Owerri. She tried a lot for me as a single mother. That movement changed my story. I joined Larry Vic Starlets, which is Rivers Angels today, at my young age in 1988. I played till 2007 in Rivers Angels and I hung my boot. And I also captained Rivers Angels for 12 years. My number one, Sir Ferguson. I listened to one of his interviews, and that was where I quietly accept that football is business. He said, there's time for play and there's time for business.
Business time, oh.
If you listen to my players sometimes, you hear when they call business time. When time for games, either training or match, business time.
We came into Rivers Angels to hear of her achievements and what she has done with the team. So every player that comes in, even when you come in, you look up to Regina because she has really achieved a lot with the team as a player and now as a coach.
You go close to the opponent when they are with the ball. I believe strongly that female coaches can also do well in the male team if they are given the opportunity to do so, because they also have what it takes. My advice to young girls who want to be a female coach in Nigeria is that, one, they should be passionate about what they want, because as a female coach, you may be looked at, what is this one doing? Who is this one? I see myself in 10 years to be one of the international coaches that can be on television, looking at the world one day, giving my country salute.
Wow, she deserves all the accolades she gets. Well done, Regina. And if you didn't know, Regina is actually Latin for queen, and she definitely is a Nigerian football queen. Last we checked in round one, Webster was leading Agri 1 point, but will he sustain that lead? Celestine Carone in Nairobi has got the answer.
At the end of the first round, Webster was leading on 6 points and Agri had 5 points. Time to play the second round. Here are the rules.
Round 2, convince me. You each have 15 seconds to argue for or against. 2 points are up for grabs.
Gentlemen, this week we are asking, in Convince Me, Mauricio Pochettino has a point when he says the introduction of the VAR system in the Premier League should be delayed. You, Webster, are arguing for and Agri are arguing against. You go first, your time starts now.
Now, Pochettino, I support Pochettino because the season is already halfway through and most of the teams have been affected by VAR decisions. So I support Pochettino, it should wait.
Well, you've actually finished well before your time. You have finished well before your time, but you've had his points agree. You have the advantage of going second. You've had his points first. So your time starts now.
I'm against the fact that the VAR system should delay, because if we have the VAR system, we will have a lot of fairness and integrity in football. It's in line with the technological advancement that should be part of the football game at the moment, and more so.
Yeah, and you stopped dead in your tracks of point 3. You heard the whistle. And gentlemen, I am inclined here to go with Agri. I mean, who doesn't want fairness in sports? That's what we live for, right? Okay, let's see what that 2 points for Agri has done to the scoreboard. Well, Webster, you have 6 points. You have just edged the lead, Agri, on 7 points. But there's still one round to come, which decides who gets to win. Join us in the 3rd round later in the show.
Don't we just love comebacks? But will Agri sustain it in round 3? He's a Kenyan rugby star who causes havoc on the pitch, so much so he was nicknamed after one of the sport's true greats. In this week's Who Am I?, William Baker tells us what will even make him go faster than he already is on the pitch.
Sometimes shy, but at the same time outgoing. I prefer more 7s because of the thrill of the game, because it's short, quick and intense. Coffee. I love coffee. Chapati, mincemeat, but I don't know how to make it. I'm really scared of snakes. That is like, if a snake happens to I'll be here right now, I think I'll be the fastest person out of here. If a snake is involved, then I'm definitely going to win that race. Beach, even if I don't know how to swim ocean, meanwhile watu wa pool peke yake. Jack Ryan, I like the guns, but I don't like getting shot at. I just like to probably shoot at something. Nobody likes when I play music in the team bus. I listen to like country music. So yeah, I'll probably go with Zach Brown band, Chicken Fried. I really love that song. So. Of course, people would say it will be winning Singapore, but I'll say beating New Zealand in their home ground. I jumped up and I forgot to land on my feet. I ended up landing on my face. Actually, almost knocked myself out.
It's crunch time in round 3 of Armchair Experts, and after 2 rounds, the race is on. Who will be crowned champ? Celestine?
Right, as our aspiring experts stand, it's a Webster on 6 points and Agri on 7 points. Time for the deciding round. Here are the rules.
Round 3, the quickfire decider. 45 seconds to push up your score. Remember, shout your name before you answer or you'll lose out.
Okay, so your 45 seconds starts now. Anthony Joshua competes in which sport?
Webster, boxing.
Correct. Deuce is a term used in which sport? Tennis or volleyball?
Agri.
Yes.
Tennis.
Correct. George Weah's son, Timothy, signed for which Scottish Premier League side?
Celtic.
Correct. A run is the basic unit of scoring in cricket. True or false?
Webster.
Cricket. True.
Correct. Springboks refer to which rugby national team?
Webster.
Yes.
South Africa.
Correct. Davis Cup, a tournament between the national teams in men's tennis. True or false?
Webster. False.
Agree. True.
Correct. What is awarded after a try?
Webster. Rugby. Score.
No.
Penalty.
Wrong. It is a conversion, guys. And that was an interesting round. It means, Webster, you have 2 points from that round. And Agri, you have 4 points. Let's see the final scores. You're celebrating too early. And the final scoreboard says, Webster, you are on 8 points. And Agri, you're 11 points, which means, well, you're this week's armchair expert. Welcome to the throne. We should inscribe your name on it.
We should.
How does it feel again?
It feels great.
Well, he feels great. Maybe you too can feel great. Join us again next week for yet another episode of Armchair Expert.
We are not worthy to be in your presence, Agri. We are certainly not worthy. Congratulations for being our champ once again. As always, you can catch up on everything you've seen in this program via Facebook or Twitter, or you can head over to our BBC Sports Africa website where you can catch and watch some of these pieces again and miss other favorite pieces you might want to nibble on. Thank you so much this week for keeping me company. Let's do this again next week, shall we? I'm Janine Anthony, and I'm saying until next week, goodbye from Lagos.